A very good morning to all my BBA second year students. We'll begin with the subject of BCS, that is Business Communication Skills. Now in the last class or the last video, we studied about the different communication channels. Now what are the different communication channels? There are broadcast medias, there are mobile communication, we have social media communication, and we have the broadcast media like TV, radio, television, etc. So these are the various types of communication channels which are used to communicate or to represent one individual or a company's thought to the general public, or it is a mass type of communication, mass communication. Today we will study regarding the organizational context. In an organization, what are the various type of communication networks? What are the various types of communication networks or channels? So in an related to organizational context, in the last video already I discussed that there are three types of communication channels. First one is formal, second one is informal, and third one is unofficial. These are the three types of regarding the organizational context or regarding an organization. These are the three types of channels used in an organization, communication channels used in an organization. So today we will learn about the formal channel of communication. What does the formal channel do? How does it operates in our organization, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of the formal channel of communication? Formal communication channel. Now, formal communication is one which flows through the formal communication channel. So, understand this statement. Formal communication is a separate part and formal communication channel is a separate thing. So, formal communication is one path where the formal communication channel allows only the formal communication to flows through it. The channel allows the part of formal communication to flow through it. The formal communication channel is, as the name implies, it deliberately create official prescribed path for the flow of information between the various position in an organization. Now, if there is an organization, there are formal rules, regulations, authorities, and various set of rules. So these rules, regulations are to be followed in an official manner, so that it is the normal and the precise meaning of formal communication. Formal communication channels allows the formal communication to flow through it with the rules, regulation, and prescribed, already given a part to follow it, already prescribed a part to follow it. Suppose I am a superior and I have a 50 number of subordinate under me, the 50 number of people working under me. So already from the corporation or the organization, I have given a set of rules and regulation to be followed for the process of communication. I have to communicate in a certain way with respect to certain rules, with respect to certain policies, with respect to certain regulations of the enterprise. But they all communicate to achieve one organizational goal. To achieve one organizational goal. Here the various positions are there are three parts, or the three we can say the major categories of management, that is top level management, middle level management, and the lower level management. So various, there are communication flow not between the employee and the employee of the same category, but also the superiors and superior means the immediate superior, and superior means, suppose I am a lower level employee, I can communicate with my superior, that is a middle level management, and I can also communicate with the top level management, that is CEOs and the CEOs, and we can say the chairpersons. Second level of management or the middle level of management is the TLs, we can say the managers, etc. And the lower level is the employees, or we can say the worker part. So these are the three levels of management, and the various position in the management. Communication flows from various position in an organization. So I repeat myself. Formal communication is one which flows through formal communication channel with respect to the rules, regulations and policies laid by the organization to achieve one common objectives. That is the whole part of this paragraph, that what is formal communication and what is formal communication channel. Now, it is a deliberate attempt to regulate the flow of organizational communication as to make it orderly and thereby ensure the information part flows smoothly, accurately and timely to the point to which it is required. Now, the communication part in an official or a formal organization is it should flow to the right person, right place, to the right time and the right manner. These are the four important components of information, passing of information from one person to other person. So this passing of information from one person to other person keeps in mind that firmly timing, the manner of which it is communicated, to the right person it is communicated, and the right place it is communicated. These are the four elements to communicate from one person to another person for the smooth, accurate and timely flow of information. Smooth means there is no hurdles in the flow of information. Accurate means the correct information in the correct time, and timely means that uh, proper and to the net time to on which the communication is to be transferred from one person to other person in an organization. Now, further, it also intends to prescribe for the filtering of information to the various points to ensure the information does not necessarily cause the problem of overload. Now, there should be a limitation of flow of information. There should be only the flow of information which is necessary on the time being. For the present time being, what are the necessary information that has to be passed from one person to another person for the time accurately and the smooth flow of information. There is not useless information has to be passed to make it causing a problem of overload of information. Overload means the information coming from various channels has to be communicated further. So already there is a pending communication and we have to keep loading the communication one by one. So it becomes difficult for the person to communicate further or to communicate to the next channel or to the next person in an organization. So this is the total concept of formal communication channel and formal communication. Now, different types of communication networks in formal organization. Now, there are different types of network also which is used, or different types of channels used in the in formal communication. Let us study one by one. That is single chain. The diagram is very important and we have to write it down or make it in an examination. The diagram is very important, and whenever we write about a formal communication, the long question arises. We have to draw the diagrams along with the writings, along with the paragraph. The single chain. Single chain communication network flows from a superior to subordinate. It flows from top to bottom. Usually it is one way. So one way form of communication, that is from the top level management to the middle level to the lower level. That is the part of single chain communication. Only the information is passed. There is no response or the no feedback for the information passed. It is only information from top to bottom, and it is usually one way. There is no response taken or the feedback taken from the subordinates to the superiors. So this is the form of single chain communication network. The second one is the wheel. The wheel communication is the subordinate under one superior, all the subordinates under one superior. It flows from top to bottom and information is passed in groups. So this is a part of group communication. Group communication, how do we define it? Group communication, where the all the subordinates, suppose I am a superior, under me there are 50 subordinates working. So from me, the information is passed to all the 50 members of my group. So it is a group information. It flows from, again, top to bottom. Third one is the circular. Circular, the communication moves in a circle with adjoining two persons. It is from top to bottom or vice versa. So the communication flows in a circle. That is, we can see the diagram. The first, it's adjoining two persons, then it's adjoining two persons, and which are interrelated. It's a hexagon having 6 sides. Sorry, having 5 sides. The communication moves in a circle with adjoining two persons along, and it can be from top to bottom or bottom to top. It can be reversed or it can be from top to bottom. This is the diagram of the circular. It's a 5-piece hexagon, sorry, pentagon. So it communicates one head with two other persons and other two persons. So it is a communication network of a circle. Now the free flow. Now free flow communication, it is a communication. This is a person can freely communicate with each other irrespective of the position of the group. Now irrespective of position of the group means it is from a department to another department, a superior to a subordinate to its superior. Anything can happen in this type of free flow information. Now anyone can communicate with anyone in an organization. That is the literal meaning of free flow of information. The next is inverted V. What does it indicate? An individual is allowed to communicate with his immediate superiors and superior. Immediate superior means I am the employee, I am coordinating with my manager or my TL, and I can coordinate with the CEO or the branch manager. That is the meaning of inverted V. It is normally from bottom to top, communication from bottom to top. Now, advantages of formal communication. What are the basic advantages of formal communication which helps an organization to attain certain objectives and certain goals? First one is increase overall efficiency. Now, if there are set of rules and regulations mandatory and to be followed by each and every person, then there is a timely, smooth and accurate flow of information that increases the overall efficiency of an organization. If there is a timely check of rules and regulation, and for the part of rules and regulation, every rule and regulation is to be followed by every person in an organization, then there is a smooth, timely and accurate flow of information which directly and indirectly increases the efficiency of the organization and increases the efficiency of the persons which are working in an organization. Next come ECA in communication network. Now, what is ECA in communication network? Now, suppose I am a superior, I can coordinate with my juniors from top to bottom communication network, communication channel in a formal organization. There is also a vice versa of it, that bottom to top communication channel. So it helps us to ease the communication. There are no hurdles. There are no hurdles, or there are no meaningful obligations going on. Everyone can communicate with everyone easily. This is a system which uses the free flow of information. Means every individual can connect and communicate with the other individual irrespective of position, or irrespective of position in an organization, or irrespective of the groups or groups of an organization. Now, what is permanent record? The third one is permanent record. Now, in a formal organization, there is always a permanent record of everything. In a formal organization, when an information is passed from one person to another person, it is always recorded. It is always recorded, and a list of information which is recorded is kept. That is likewise office circulars. We can say office circulars, office notes, example. Those are normally in a printed form and recorded and documented for the future references, and it has a permanent record when is the information passed and to whom is the information is passed and from whom the information is passed from one person to another person in an organization. Next is quick accomplishments. Now, what are quick accomplishments? If a person following, each and every person following the rules and regulations of the organization, then there is a quick accomplishment of work. Suppose the superiors are responsible for the works of the subordinates and subordinates cooperate with the superiors to make the work done properly, timely and accurately, then there is quick accomplishment of the work of an organization and the target, or we can say the objective of an organization, is received very well or achieved very efficiently. The next is maintained of discipline, maintained discipline. Maintenance of discipline. Now, maintenance of discipline is that if there is an orderly procedure of making the information pass from one person to another person, then it creates and maintains a discipline in an organization. The firmly disciplined and orderly discipline, it maintains a firmly and orderly discipline in the site of an organization. Next is EC of cooperation and coordination. As well, we can see in the free chain, or we can say in a circular type of network, circular type of formal network, it coordinates from one person to two other persons. So the formal communication easy, or it becomes easy for cooperation and coordination among the team members. Suppose we have a team and we have a division of teams, like 10 members under one superior, other 10 members under one superior. So the 10 members working together to achieve one objective have to have a cooperation and coordination among them, which helps in the easy of attaining organizational objectives or the particular target in a particular time frame. Next is used as reference. Now, what is reference? Now, for example, reference means there are some timely projects which are made in an organization, and for that timely projects there are references made in an organization, how to work, how to efficiently work, how to work timely. These references are maintained by formal organization, which are used for the another or the next projects for the maintenance or the maintenance of the records, as well as for reference of the future projects. Now, ECA in delegation of authority. It becomes easy for a person to delegate authority, that is the manager to his junior manager, the junior manager to his subordinates. So it becomes easy in a formal organization to ECA the delegation of authority, means passing the authority from one person to another person. The manager having the authorities may not be, the junior manager may not be having the same authorities as the manager, but he may have some authorities under his control. He may pass his some authorities to the superior, to the subordinate to whom he trusts. So this allows an easy flow of delegation of authorities. Now, the last point is free of mistakes. Now, what is free of mistakes? Free of mistakes means if there is an timely check, procedures, policies, rules and regulations, and a proper record of everything, then it is highly impossible for the mistakes to retain in an organization. So it helps for the part of free of mistake. And formal organization, when the rules and orderly manner, it is done in an orderly manner, then it helps an organization to make the flow of information or the flow of communication in an path of free of mistakes. Now, coming to the disadvantages of formal communication. Everything has a everything has pros and cons. So we studied the pros of the formal communication. Let us study the cons or the disadvantages of formal communication. First is waste of time. Now, in a formal communication, the superior authority delegating authorities to the juniors, or we can say if there is a communication to be passed, then the top authorities, that is the CEOs, have to declare and maintain a meeting among themselves, that is board meetings, which is a waste of time. Waste of time means the efficiency, the time is very much important nowadays, so it will be a waste of time. The top authorities, when trying to communicate and trying to make understand the junior or the subordinates about how to do the work, where to do the work, where to pass the information, they have to contain certain meetings, which is very time consuming and it is waste of time. Second is Arthurian attitude. Now, what is Arthurian attitude? Now, Arthurian attitude means if with the delegation of authority, there also comes responsibility and there also comes the attitude. The superior attitude over the subordinates, the ill treatment, the superior attitude, the favors of the superiors, the favors and the delegation of authority, showing superiority in everything, makes it inconvenient for a subordinate to follow and to proceed in the part of communication. Lack of initiative. Now, what is lack of initiative? Initiative means there are already prescribed rules and regulations for the to be followed in an organization. For already prescribed rules and regulation to be followed in an organization, there is no initiative for the new ideas, new developments and new thoughts in an organization. It is costly, as we have to make the information pass and record for the future references. It becomes costly for an organization to maintain such records, making meetings, following procedures, policies and everything in an organization. And it is inflexible. Inflexible means if there is no certain environment where a person can release his stress and be friendly with and share his feelings with other person, there is inflexibility in an organization, or we can say inflexibility of the superiors and the subordinates becomes very uneasy in an organization. So these were the formal communication channel, the advantages of formal communication channel, the disadvantages of formal communication channel, and the networks of formal communication. We'll study the next topic in the next class. That's all for today. Thank you so much.